Alrighty, fellas, how are we doing, dude? Do you guys know? Do you guys have we figured out? It is day 7, dude. It's the final day of Safari Week. Can we believe it? I can't believe it. I'm tired, but I don't know. It's one of those things where like it feels like, oh man, like I'm excited for it to be over, but I'm also sad for it to be over. I want to keep going. I want to keep running back and forth, even though I'm so ready for it to be over and I'm so tired of it. Yeah, that's a good mixture, you know. It just makes sense. One of those things. It says stream recap 123, Safari Week day 7. Now there is technically a day 8. There will be a small short day tomorrow that will last around until 1 p.m. The event ends at 1 p.m. ET. So once we hit that, it'll officially be over. So really short stream tomorrow, but today should be a pretty hefty one. Got a lot of shunting ahead of us, fellas. Let's get to it. Lost to Shiny Lapras yesterday. Sag, dude, not Envoys. Literally like one of the nicest guys in my chat. That is, oh, not Envoy. That's so sad, man. I'm so sorry, dude. Rest in another fallen. This Safari Week has been brutal in PokeMMO. There's been like way brutal than before, man. The amount of fleas, the amount of, jeez Louise, dude. Honestly, a good talking point today is kind of just I want to talk about like the complications with not meeting everyone's needs with content creation. It's something I've really been noticing and been thinking about recently. The deeper I get into the game, the harder it is for me to relate to the newer players experienced, and the harder it is for me to make guides for the most amount of people, which is really sad. The other problem is if I make guides to meet the masses and guides for the newer players, my veteran player friends critique me and nitpick and backseat and get upset at me. So it's really, really tough, like middle ground of like, I have to make good guides for beginners, but also advanced enough where they're not overwhelming or frustrating for beginners, but also that they're detailed enough to where I don't get critiqued or backseated by veterans that are my good friends in the game. It's a really, really tough mixture, and there's not really, I'm never going to please everybody, and it's something I've been thinking about a lot recently. And I think if anything, I need to kind of get back to it's better to make simple guides for the average casual new player and help people get into the game. That's really, really, really important. So this is kind of, I guess, a message to my veteran friends that like not every guide I can make, unfortunately, is going to be like, now accurate information is good. Now I'm saying, obviously, like, feel free to critique me if I'm incorrect, but a lot of times I will purposefully leave out extra information that is overly complicated or overly advanced, and I want to simplify it for the person. And a lot of people will leave comments like saying, hey, like, you forgot this link. Those comments are honestly a good way that if someone wants to pursue that extra information, that's a good way to handle it. But I kind of wanted to talk about this because it's a tough thing. How do I be like in the veteran space? I'm never going to make guides to please those people because they know everything. They're very smart. They've been playing it for a long time. They're very educated. But when I make simple guides, it's not really for them. And it's a really tough mixture that I've been trying my best to manage. And I haven't been doing a good job, and I need to figure out what the best way to do that is. So I just wanted to kind of talk about that today and kind of talk about getting back to the more casual mass guide type of content. Man, not to like be negative about this game, but I did not get as many encounters as I wanted to this Safari Week. I think it's due to a couple factors. Number one, I haven't been using lures, and you shouldn't. I popped them for the joke. You shouldn't pop lures here. You can't catch this guy. It's never gonna catch. Whatever. It's not worth it, right? I feel like I didn't get as many encounters as of a couple reasons. Number one, sometimes the encounter counter misses the encounter because it's like kind of fast in the Safari Zone. Number two, haven't been popping lures, and that does lower your encounters per hour. Number three, in a lot of these Safari Zones, you can't be on your bike, so that slows down encounters versus like what I usually calculate at, right? So it's crazy. Like I don't think about like how much your single encounter rate is changed based on whether you can run, whether you have a bike, whether you're like trudging the mud, whether, the swarm, lore, like, there's so many things. I always tell people like 300 encounters is what you can get doing single encounters, but I think it's closer to 250. I'm gonna be honest, and maybe I've also been really inefficient. I've been distracted. I've been playing a second account. I've been trying to talk about fun stuff and exciting stuff for stream. But yeah, I've been yapping a lot. The yapping tax does slow down your encounters. That is true, factually proven here. There's been a lot of factors that have led to me getting less encounters than I expected and than I wanted, honestly, but that's okay. It happens. What are you gonna do? You just try to get more and more and more. Pat, I decided to farm Ditto boxes and sell them at a discounted rate to my team, and they've ordered 95 boxes from me. Do you think I've made a mistake? How long would it take to farm 95 boxes? Holy, what do you farm? Like 40 Dittos an hour? Probably a little less, right? Like 35? Let's say long term you farm half a box an hour. I think that's like human error, like equates to a lot of things. What a modal move. Yeah, fuck. 30, okay, so 95 times 2 is just the hours, right? So it's gonna be 190 hours of farming Dittos. How much are you charging per box? 190 hours just to farm all those Dittos. Now, how much Pokeyen would it be, right? Also, that's not including like 1 times 31 Dittos or whatever. How much Pokeyen would it be? Let's say you make you're probably making what, 200k an hour or whatever, 200,000. Oh, what the hell? Oops, I dragged something. Anyways, 200k times 190. It'd be 38 mil within 190 hours. Maybe like 35 or something like that if you want to, like, once again, like, play it safe. Hey man, you can make some bitch money there. If I did that math right, it's 400k cheaper if you buy 5 at once. What is that deal? What? I would order every bot. What? Yeah, you're giving your teammates too good of a deal, man. What? 400k cheaper if you order. So what do you charge? Like 200k a box? What's 1 box for you? No wonder they ordered 95 boxes. Bro, you gotta respect yourself. You gotta, wait a minute. Don't wait. You are not a cheap Ditto farmer, you know. Respect yourself, man. Raise that price. Oh my goodness. That's yo, can you hook a homie up? I don't know if he can anymore. Dude, something that I should do now that this actually, okay, account box actually does massively change the way that Ditto boxes and like egg hunts can be done. Because what you can do now is you can store like 10 Ditto boxes on each of your alts on your main account, right? And then use the account box to switch a box of Dittos over at a time. Whereas previously, you didn't really want to store Dittos on an alt because mailing them would get pretty expensive, unironically. Account box actually makes storing Dittos on alts on that same login like really, really viable. That's why I need to like consider that in the future. I might start buying Ditto boxes on alts and like having them stored. That's like a genius idea when Ditto boxes get cheap. Speaking of, go farm Dittos. Oh my goodness, we need so many more Ditto farmers, please. If you are a newer intermediate player, you can make like 200k an hour farming Dittos, and it's super chill. You get used to it. It's comfy. I recommend. There's like some really good potential for good shinies, good profits. Go check it out. Ditto farming is amazing. We need way more Ditto farmers. Yes, please. Thank you so much. I get this question a ton about how to price check boxes for pretty much any Pokemon. Here's a strategy that works for literally every single box pretty much to ever exist, guys. Now it depends, but this is what I normally recommend / do. So much about a Nincada box. So what I would do, thanks for the link, dude. What I would do to like price check how much you should sell 60 Nincadas for is I would go to the GTL. I would see, okay, how much are Nincadas selling for? There's a couple listed for less than 3k, but they're mostly like 3k a piece, right? So what I would do is I would do 3k minus 500. The reason why is because it splits the listing fee. The entire point of selling a box of Pokemon to someone is you're selling a box of Pokemon to someone who needs a lot of that Pokemon, so 60 Pokemon, and you're saving money as the buyer to buy a box, and you're making more money by dodging the listing fee, right? So you're dodging the listing fee as the seller, right? Okay, so if we take 2,500 times 60, so we do the 500 or whatever, it's 150. So I'd say 150k per a box of Nincada is a fair price. You can go a little more. The seller can sometimes make a little more, and that's fine. But like Ditto Box is a really good example. It depends. Now always go check what Dittos are costing on the GTL before you buy or sell a Ditto Box. If you're a seller, you can really list for whatever you want, and I really put more responsibility on the buyer. But like if I were a Ditto Box buyer right now, I would say, okay, most Dittos are around 4,200, maybe 4,300. We can keep that in mind. I would do 4,200 minus 500, right? and that's 3,700 times 60. So if I were a Ditto Box buyer, I would not buy a Ditto Box right now for more than 230k. I think 220 to 230k is fair. I think anything over that is, there's at that point, just buy off the GTL. There's no point. The whole point of Ditto or boxes at all of Pokemon is to save money for both participants. If you're buying boxes at the same price as the GTL, there's no point. There's literally 0 point as the buyer. The seller is getting all of that benefit. As the buyer, if you buy with the GTL, you can store stuff in your mail, which is a big benefit, and people pay a 20k upcharge just to be able to do. So always keep that in mind. Boxes of Pokemon and Pokemon are kind of interesting. They're kind of specific. I think a lot of people have picked up on them, but have lost the understanding of why they exist in the first place, and constantly teaching that, oh yeah, it's supposed to be a benefit to both the buyer and the seller is super, super important. I actually really respect you for coming and asking this question. I feel like there's a lot of people who share this exact same sentiment, and I love you for asking this, even though it may, like, someone might not ask this, they think it would hurt my feelings, but understanding what kind of content you guys want is really important. So Vascaine says, when does the Safari thing end? I miss regular streams, even though they're very similar. I don't know why. Dude, I so get it, right? Because like with Safari Week, I'm kind of, number one, I'm grinding. I might be a little grumpier. I'm less like open to doing other things. I'm less experimental. I'm not doing anything else. Where like normal streams, I'll EV train, XP train, whatever. It's getting a little draining. Yes, I think my viewers, it's funny. I love doing events like this, like Safari Week, like, dude, you're so nice, Vascade. I love doing events like Shiny Wars and like Safari Week, and they always do really well in like the first video, but there's a reason why the views kind of tank off as the week goes on, understandably so. Most people don't like watching someone doing the same exact thing over and over and over. You know, it's nice to mix things up. So it's reasonable. I get it. You know, if you're a viewer of mine who hasn't been watching these videos, don't feel bad. I love you so much and I appreciate you, and I only want you to watch videos you enjoy. If my videos aren't enjoyable for you, don't watch them. I don't want you to waste your time. That'd be horrible. And if you want to see a certain type of video, if you want to, like, let me know. Comments on like what kind of videos you guys want to see, money making guides. I love it. If you guys want to see a specific thing in the stream recaps, you want to see like specific goals being talked about or set, feedback from you guys is really, really important, and I really, really don't take that lightly. So thank you so much for working up the courage to leave that comment that I know not many people would have, Vascaine. I really, really appreciate that. Has the official anniversary of Pokemon passed? Do you mean like the actual date the game came out, right? Because the anniversary event should fall on a date, but it doesn't actually, and it never really has. Really weird circumstance. So PokeMMO, I think even like the details surrounding this are so fuzzy and hard to find on the internet. But I heard from, I think I saw a post at some point that technically PokeMMO actually released in like February of 2012, but it was like a closed beta, or only certain people had access to it, or like it was either so small at that point, something weird about that, like not many people played it. It might have been fully public and open, but like nobody played it, nobody knew about it. It wasn't until like June or July, like middle of 2012, where the game actually like got players and picked up. And then yeah, kind of was like, so like the middle of the year, June, July, is kind of it's hard to get with Pokemon news. What news? Yeah, we haven't had much news recently, unfortunately. I'll try to cover whatever possible, but it's really hard to pinpoint like when is the actual, what do you consider the actual date of the Pokemon release, like the actual anniversary. The devs don't even know / give us like a solid answer. It's like actually really tough. You can go find like I think on like the Pokemon community like forum, you can find like a post talking about PokeMMO's release or something like that. It's a weird, we don't have an exact date is the TLDR. You can consider it February, you can consider it June or July. That's kind of it. Has anyone seen the Riolu Johto spawn this whole week? I'm so glad it's not just me. I haven't seen Riolu spawn at all this week while hunting. It's actually, I literally, dude, yeah, I haven't been able to go to Riolu once this entire week. I don't know if that's cursed or if it's just like timing wise or what's happened, or I literally have not seen a single Riolu spawn all week on stream. It's like a 1 out of 6 or 1 out of 7 chance for it to happen. How many? So that's, I need the math on this. That is like actually unbelievably unlucky. Apparently there's been 1 Riolu spawn all week, and it was at the middle of the night for my time zone. 4 times an IRL day. Is that the okay? So there's 4 chances a day. It's day 7. 7 times 4. So there's been 28 chances for a Riolu spawn to happen, and it's happened once. And it's like a 1 out of 6 or 1 out of 7 chance for it to happen. That is so crazy. Like, I'm bad at math. I don't, maybe it's even more. During Safari Week, we've had the worst Riolu luck ever. That is so wild. What are the odds? 28 attempts with a 1 out of 6 chance is like a 99% chance to hit. That is so crazy. Yo, wait, chat. I can actually do a Pringles taste test right now. I can taste a crazy new Pringle flavor for the first time on stream. I got it. 1 sec. Be right back. Okay, first things first. These are just good. This is not a taste test, but the Harvest Blend Smoky Barbecue Sweet Potato Pringles. These are like a new, they're coming out like new Harvest Blends. These are just amazing. They're just good. Now, the taste test. I haven't tried these yet, guys. Chili cheese fries Pringles. I have not tried them. Okay? But now it is time. Okay, if I don't survive, you guys can call 911. Okay? Here's the chili cheese Pringle. Okay? I'm gonna give you my unfiltered opinion. Wow. Really strong first aroma that like hits you when you bite, unironic when you bite into it. It really fills your nose. A lot of like, not like chili, but it's almost like a pepper start. Very cheesy. It's not that chili heavy. Well, the aftertaste, wow. It's not chili then cheese, it's cheese then chili. There's a really strong like drippy queso, like this kind of cheese, like that kind of flavor at the start. And then it ends with like a savory, meaty aftertaste. Compared to the chili cheese Fritos, these are not nearly as bold as the chili cheese, but it's nice. It's like a more potato, like they're pleasant. I could chow through a lot of these. I would give this, it's like solid, like probably like a 7 or 8 out of 10. Not my go-to Pringle, but like kind of like one that you could pick if you're in that mood, kind of like pizza Pringles, amazing, but you're not always in the mood for that. I would give it like an 8 out of 10. Now this is content. This is the content we've been reduced to since we can't get shinies. We're down to chip taste test, boys. Dude, yeah, I love that. Abenbad uses the worm. I think the worm is one of the more underrated. What's its priced at right now? I love the worm. Underrated vanity. Dude, okay, this is kind of troll. This is not investment advice. This is a personal preference. I love investing in dumb vanities or buying up dumb vanities that are like 20k a piece. Things like the Koban, things like the bunny tail, things like the worm. Like all of these have gone up, like they like double their price, right? Because they're only 20k during the event. They're so cheap. Of course they go up, right? Like that's I love buying a ton, massive quantity of those vanities. I think it's very, very cool. Ooh, that's actually a genius market call, Daltoff. So tempted to sell my mysterious balls now before raids drop before people scramble for Pokeyen. Dude, it's very possible. This happens every time. I always say people might sell mysterious balls during like raids or whatever because they're so desperate for Pokeyen. You probably shouldn't do that. But if you sell ahead before the drop, right? And then you buy back during the drop, now that's genius. Now that's genius. A lot of people sell off investments during new events to like, because they're scrambling for money. They didn't prepare. And that's like a terrible way to do investments. You never want to sell investments, almost never during an event. It depends. Some older like goodie bags you might want to sell like during Halloween because it's like the hype is there or whatever. It kind of depends. But that's kind of genius. Like get ahead of the market, sell mysterious balls now, and then buy them back up if they dip. Now, this is all so unbelievably speculative and like, will it actually happen? You know, it's hard to tell. You know, there's no guarantees in any market, right? But it's interesting. I think it's a really, really interesting thing to like consider. I know I like just did a Pringles taste test, but I have the ultimate food dude take of the day. I love Jello. Have I done this one before? Do you guys like Jello? Dude, I don't know if I'm just, I love Jello. I know it's like probably like a kid food, but like I love Jello. And like fruit, I think I've done this before. I actually done this food take before. Fruit in Jello is amazing. I love fruit in Jello. I don't know if it's like a family thing or like, I love like apple or like grapes in Jello is phenomenal. Dude, I love fruit, and I love fruit in Jello, and I love Jello. Sorry, also another non-PokeMMO related clip. Dude, a really cool thing that that YouTube did recently. You can do thumbnail tests now. It's actually sick. So you can like equip 3 thumbnails to a video and then run a test of like which thumbnail does the best and what thumbnail people click. It's a really cool feature, and I used it once or twice so far. It's so interesting. I think thumbnail, that's like it doesn't really matter if you're a content creator, but I think it's very cool. So if you see like a video of mine having multiple thumbnails, or multiple people might see different thumbnails, I think it's very, very cool to test and see. Alpha Tropius in Hoenn by Maulville City, really fast check. I love Tropius. I'm willing to go. I'll go check that on both accounts. I think that'd be kind of based. Go shiny check an alpha really quick for like one of my favorite Pokemon. Maulville City, you said? All right, fellas, I'm at the Alpha Tropius on both accounts, on Shiny Charm and on Thunder status. I'm going to check it. No Shiny. That's okay. I'm going to check all the babies around just in case. It's a really cool Pokemon. Really would have been a really cool Shiny. To be fair, I'm not prepared on my main account at all. I just realized I would have had to Master Ball this. I don't have any catching Pokemon on me at all. We'll check the babies as well, though, really quick. This Farfetch'd for 250k, an Alyssa OT 2013 Farfetch'd, yes please. I don't know what Lapras goes for. Eevee. These are 2013s. I always tell people that like 2013s aren't really, you know, they're not real. I don't really recommend collecting. Or if you want to collect whatever you want to collect. I don't really recommend investing in 2013s. It's too specific of a market, but I like 2013s because it's the year that I'm going to buy that. Sure. It's the year that I started playing, so it's meaningful to me. So that's why I collect for it, you know? I'm down to buy these. I'm spending a lot of Pokeyen here, honestly, but 2013 Eevee, do I have one? Not sure if I have one. Umbreon, Espeon, Leafeon, Zard. Let's check out some 2012s. I love collecting older Pokemon. Let's see, start date, cheapest prices, 123k. We got Storm for 900k. Tauros for 5 is a little low. Growlithe for 5 is about right from what I've seen, from my understanding. Arbok for 280. Rhyhorn. I check it every so often. It's good to check through these things every so often. Yeah, you didn't see many wild Jinxes back then. I did kind of just realize. It's kind of crazy. It's interesting. I love these. I'm so excited to see what happens with these markets, man, in the future. Check 2013 Zards. 2013. 250k. There's a bunch of 250k. Wow. There's a lot. It's a fair amount of Zards. Cosmic. Hasbro. This is the one that yeah. This is the one that is 2012 and 2013, which is so weird because it was caught at 6 p.m. on the 31st of December. So in certain time zones, it's a 2012 mon, and then in certain other time zones, it's 2013. So this Zard shows up for both. Really, really weird, crazy Pokemon. I don't know, it's one of the weirdest mons. I probably should have bought it. That mon is so fucking weird. Oh yeah, okay. This is really cool. I almost did a whole video talking about this, but I don't really think there's enough enough to talk about for the whole video. But PokeForce news. PokeForce reached 10,000 registered accounts. The game's not even out yet, guys. It's not gonna be out for like probably 6 more months minimum. They're shooting for a late 2024 release, from my understanding. 10,000 registered accounts and the game's not out? That's really good. Like really, 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 really good. Like ridiculously good. Like that is, can you think of any, like, that's crazy to me. That's nuts. Yeah, I think there is a closed beta coming up. I'm not sure if I signed up for that. I hope I can get on. I'll have to see what I can do. Yeah, there's a PokeForce test coming up. That's exciting, dude. How'd you get in the beta? If you want to get involved in like PokeForce and see updates and news, you got to join the PokeForce Discord. I think that's the main way they do everything is like through the PokeForce Discord. check out the PokeForce Discord. Wait, I realized something very funny is if I'm shunting on 2 accounts at the same spot, if I were to get a shiny on like my alt account, like Cool Duder, for example, instead of actually having to switch over the account, I could just spectate the shiny fight and then like do. That's actually very, very cool. I didn't realize that. That's a cool way to do it. I could just spectate as opposed to having to like have that fear of logging out or whatever. I just realized that, but that's kind of cool. That's kind of honestly based. Hey Pat, congrats on a successful Safari week. What's success? Not just making it to the end, kind of based. Not quitting before the end. You know what? I would call it successful. I'm not trying to be too negative. It's just, yeah, it's funny to think about, but it's been a very successful. You're alive. I agree. I'm right with you, man. It's been a successful Safari week, a shinyless, successful Safari week. All right, this next encounter on the alt account up here, I guess on this TV, is gonna be 9,000. So 9,000 encounters on the alt account in total since its last shiny. I don't know how many I started. Of course, the encounter counter missed that encounter. I don't know how many I started at during this event. Maybe like 6K or something like that. So I've probably done. I did way less encounters on the alt than on the main. Or I might have started lower actually. I don't know what I'm not sure. Okay, well, it missed both encounters back to back on the alt, but whatever. I actually feel like I might have gotten significantly more encounters than I realized on my main. Rumel pointed out earlier, there were times where like my encounter counter straight up missed like 3 encounters in a row. It probably did miss more than I realized, but I don't know. That's what are you gonna do? Currently pushing up towards 37K. I don't know if I'll make that before the end of today, but we'll see how it goes. This is a great question. Are Gym Reruns, more specifically using money boosters like Amulet Coin or Riches Charms, worth it when only one region is done, or should I focus my time on completing other regions? I think that the only region you could like do pretty well with only one is Unova. Unova, you actually have so many gyms to rerun because the first gym alone gives you 3 gyms, which is really nice. Obviously, like one location. And I don't think there's any there's not really a gym in Unova you can't rerun or don't rerun, right? So it's like 8 plus 2. You have like 10 gyms to do in Unova, which is pretty solid. Now, in terms of now I wouldn't use, I don't remember the math. There should be a calculator online on PokeMMO Hub as well if you want to calculate your gym rerun stuff. I know that I would guess that Riches Charm isn't worth it on a 10 run gym rerun. Yeah, plus you can do Cynthia or Morimoto and some other rich trainers. That is true, all in Unova. I think Amulet Coin hilariously probably is always worth the Amulet Coin. I think as long as you're doing like 6 gyms, Amulet Coin makes you more profit. Like it's more profitable to spend the 20K or whatever to buy an Amulet Coin, pop it, you make more Pokeyen at like 6 gyms. It does not require much. Now, so obviously the more gyms you get done or the more regions you get done, the better. It's always good to get as many regions done as possible, but like storyline grinding kind of sucks. It depends. If you like the storylines, hell yeah. I hate storylines. It's my least favorite part of the game. Doing something like, I think doing Gym Reruns with only Unova done is totally fine, or doing Gym Reruns with Unova and Kanto done was something that I actually did on my alt account on Cool Duder, on this account actually, during Road to Pokemon. That was a big way that I made Pokeyen, was doing beginner Gym Reruns with just Kanto and Unova. I made a little route, I showed it off, and was that in season 3? I don't remember what season, but I did yeah, a little beginner-ish Gym Rerun. So yeah, honestly, I think learning it early on can actually be really good because you can like learn a lot of what it looks like and just have the team built. I think getting it early is really good. Plus, like, there's tons of moneymakers you can do early that will be better Pokeyen than just doing one gym or whatever, right? However, it's pure yen. When you're new, right, those listing fees and waiting for things to sell on the GTL, like waiting for Pokemon to sell, impacts you a lot more if you need that cash, right? Versus like Gym Reruns being pure yen, pure cash straight to your cash stack is really significant early on, versus later on, you have more capital, you can wait, you can be patient, you don't need that Pokeyen ASAP to make more, if that makes sense. Are you going to stream tomorrow before Safari weekends? Yes, I will probably stream, oh, that's my, the what's it called thing, the, Pat, would you like to see the results of my Scyther catch rate research? I think I'm going to stop shunting here. Dude, yes, please. Yeah, Clarko, his favorite Pokemon is Scyther. He's been testing it in the Kanto Safari Zone. I would bet it's like a 10% or less catch rate. I bet it's really hard to catch Scyther in the Kanto Safari Zone. Shunting, yeah. It sucks that like the Kanto Safari rares all have such low catch rates that it's like hard to shunt there and make it worth it, right? Like Chansey is unbelievable, like 5%. I wouldn't surprise me if Pinsir, Kangaskhan, Tauros, all those guys are super, super low. Set it on Discord. Let me check out this beautiful set of data. Honestly, this is pretty good. How do I... Fled third ball, fled first ball, fled first ball, fled second ball. Oh my god. So Scyther's number 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All fled. Let me count the amount of... Oh my god. You only caught 2 Scyther? Is that right? Okay, so you only caught 2 Scythers out of 8 plus 3 plus 4 plus 1 plus 3 plus 3. So out of 22 Scythers, you only caught 2. That sounds about right. Yeah, don't shiny hunt Scyther in the Safari Zone. We probably already knew it wasn't good, but that definitely lets you know. That is it's like exactly 10%, like around. That's kind of like exactly what I expected, like 10% catch rate, right? With the math. Dude, look at this. Look, fellas. It's Team Mister. They're trying to summon the shiny Carnivine. It's one of the few we need to complete the Team Mister shiny decks, boys. They're working hard, starting the ritual, trying to get him to show, trying to get him to be interested in becoming a shiny Pokemon, being entered into the shiny Team Mister decks. We'll see it. We only have like we have less than 24 hours left in the Team Mister competition for Safari Week. Less than 24 hours, boys. 24 minus 5. I can't do math, but that's what it is. As you can see, we are putting in the work. We are putting in the man hours, the research, the effort to get shiny Carnivine. Team Mister is absolutely cooking. Alrighty, fellas. You want to know something crazy? I've been live for over 7 hours, okay, fellas? And it's Friday, and my wife misses me, okay? I've been playing a lot of PokeMMO, okay? I've been running back and forth in a virtual space to get nothing, okay? So it's time I take a little break. I've loved every second of it, but breaks are important. I know, guys, caught. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've watched a lot of Safari Week, it's not technically over. There will be a short stream tomorrow, finalizing the end, but it's only like a few hours, okay? Versus I've streamed 6 plus hours a day over the past week. It's been a lot of fun. I'm losing my voice. If you've enjoyed any amount of it, if it's been fun for you, entertaining, educational, whatever, right? A cool thing to just bring the community together for an event, because we so desperately needed something. I think the community really, really needed something to bring us together through this lack of content in Pokemon, or quote unquote, whatever, whether they consider it a lack of content or not, right? Hopefully it's been fun. Hopefully it's been enjoyable. Hopefully you've enjoyed your stay. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Dislike if not. Subscribe to the channel for PokeMMO videos every single day. Follow me on Twitch for streams like this, usually Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. ET. That's subject to change. I might take a break off. We'll see. I want to get back to focusing on guides and proper videos. If the content's been helpful enough and you want to go above and beyond and support my content, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal/Venmo donations. I couldn't make content, especially I couldn't do competitions like this that require so many hours without making sure I can pay my rent, without making sure I buy food. I couldn't do big competitions like that take this much time without that. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you giving me that ability. I hope you have a great day. Good luck on your shunts. Good luck in Safari Week. Good luck on whatever Pokemon goals you're working on. Good luck on preparing for raids, preparing for the anniversary event. Whatever you're doing, good luck. Have fun. Have a great life. I will see you guys tomorrow for the final few seconds of Safari Week. Hey, thank you so very much for watching until the very end of the video. That means the world to me. And everyone on this list means even more to me for helping support the channel every single day. Thanks so much.